they're doing outside, which isn't up to the standards of what a lot of other people do. And that's what I want to do with my podcast. I want to bring awareness to that. I want to bring awareness to what it takes to get results. What I said, everyone assumes you're just going to get results because you're eating better. Oh, I'm getting on a diet plan. I'm going to the gym. It's not just lifting the weights and doing 10 reps or 15 reps. It's pushing yourself. It's turning off those signals that your brain has that wants you to stop because of pain, because of discomfort. You're pushing your body through discomfort, through distress. You're fucking your body up and forcing your body to recover and to build stronger because you're doing that regularly. That's not easy. You're forcing your body to adapt. It's evolution. In a small frame, you're forcing your body to adapt. And if you're not doing enough to force your body to adapt, your body is readily going to not adapt because it takes work. It takes work for your body to adapt. And if your body can help it, it's not going to adapt because why would your body want to go through extra effort? Water doesn't want to run uphill. Your body doesn't want to adapt. Your body doesn't want to change. Your body doesn't give a shit if you want to lift weights. Your body doesn't give a fuck if you want a six pack. Doesn't care. You have to force it that way. What's your opinion on CLA tablets? Waste of money. Let's see, a couple comments on Instagram. I was an idiot thinking I should have seen gains in 4 months, but now partly because of you, I have more realistic expectations. You can get amazing results, and that's where I want to also draw the line. You can get amazing results in a few months, but how you contextualize amazing results. Like you can put on size, you can lose weight, but it's just the fucking beginning. Your body is still so fresh into this adaptation. So it's not so much the 4 months it's just everyone's going to look different in that 4 months because you're not necessarily working as hard as someone else, or maybe you're working harder than other people. So you got more results. Wow. People forget that the variable is the effort. The variable is the effort. You could have 100 people with the same program. We all have the same information. We all have the same information, the same access. Do you have one of these? Do you have a phone? Do you have an iPhone or a Galaxy? Do you have a fucking cellular device? You obviously do because you're watching this. If you have access to the internet, we all have the same information. So why do some people have results and why do others not? Why do some people have results and some people are like, I don't know where to start, what to do? Because the effort. There are people that are putting in the fucking work, that are trying things and doing it every day. They're not waiting for an answer. They're doing it. They want this, so they're trying everything already. They're fucking working. While you're asking questions, people are fucking working and doing it. That's why some people get results, because they're fucking putting in the effort. They're trying things. They're seeing what works. They're seeing what doesn't. They're applying. They're putting in that kind of effort. So we all have the same access to information. How come some people are getting results? Because some people just fucking work harder. And a lot of people don't want to admit that they just don't work as hard as other people. They're not inspired enough to get results. And that's on you. If you're not inspired enough, that's your problem. How do I get motivated or inspired? You don't. If you don't want it, you don't want it. Just don't lie to yourself and pretend like you want muscles and abs and all this shit and then act entitled to have it. If you want it, you'll put in the work to get it. If you don't, you won't. And that's the shit of it. No one's guaranteed and no one deserves it, right? No one deserves to have abs. No one deserves to build muscle. You don't deserve it. You have to earn it. You have to put in that kind of work. You have to put in the work required to get that. And if you do, okay, you might get it. If not, you're not going to get it. Very black and white, very simple. Renninger Moose. It took me hitting a serious plateau after my newbie gains petered out to realize that muscle gain tapers off. Fuck yeah. As if you just keep on lifting, just keep on going. You just keep on growing and growing and growing. People think that's how strength works. People think that's how muscle building grows or works. Same thing with fat loss. Like you're going to plateau out. But everyone treats this plateau like it's a bad thing. Everyone treats this plateau like it's a bad thing. Plateaus are not bad. Plateaus are normal. Plateaus natural. A plateau is natural. It's supposed to happen. Plateaus are natural. Natural. Okay, I'll repeat. Plateaus are natural. They're supposed to happen. That's why they do happen. A plateau is your body adapting to the stress. That's literally what your body is trying to do all the time. All the time. No matter what the stress is, your body is trying to plateau. Your body is trying to even out. Your body is trying to hit that even keel. Your body is trying to plateau. your body wants to plateau. If you think about your physiology differently and you realize, oh shit, my body wants to plateau, then you start looking at your training a little differently. You start looking at that plateau differently. That's a good thing. Your body has matched. Your body has adapted to the stress. Cool. What are we going to do to break that plateau? What can I do to trigger a response to force my body to want to adapt more? I'm going to have to increase the weight. I'm going to have to increase the volume. I'm going to have to increase the frequency. I'm going to have to increase, whatever combination of different things, but I'm going to have to change a couple things in order to stimulate more change. Otherwise, my body's going to stay. If I keep everything the same, my body has no reason to adapt. Maybe I'm eating too many calories now. Maybe I'm eating too little calories. If you are eating, let's say you want to bulk, right? And you're eating 3,000 calories a day and you're gaining a couple pounds every couple months, and all of a sudden you're not gaining weight anymore. You know why? Because now you're heavier, you have more mass, your body has adapted and found maintenance at that 3,000 calories. Now you got to eat 3,250 or you got to eat 3,500. Now you got to up the calories. You got to increase the overload. You have to take it to that next level. You're not just going to keep on growing off 3,000 calories when you've hit that point where your body is now maintaining. Now you got to up it. Now you got to increase. You have to keep your body chasing, kind of like a carrot and a donkey. You got to keep it fucking running after that treat. You have to. You have to. And one of the problems with this is most people don't track their stuff closely enough. They don't look. They're not analytical enough. They just go by how they feel. Oh, I feel good. I don't feel strong, or I don't feel like I'm losing weight. Hey, Papa Swole, I don't feel like I'm losing fast enough. What the fuck does that mean? Sometimes I feel happy. Sometimes I feel low mood. Sometimes I feel excited. Sometimes I feel nervous. Sometimes I feel anxious. We all feel things at different times. That means fucking nothing analytically. That means fucking nothing from an objective standpoint. What is actually going on? If you don't know, then you don't have any question to ask. You have no fucking idea what you're talking about. You have no reference point. So you can't go by how you feel, what's actually going on. If you know exactly what you're doing, you know what you can change. If you know what you're eating, if you know what you're training, if you know exactly what you're doing, you have everything locked down because it's part of your life. It's not a hobby. You're fucking on it. Then you know what to change. If you don't know what you're doing, how do you know what to change? How do you know if you need to increase the volume? How do you know if you need to increase the resistance? How do you know if you need to change things if you don't know what you're currently doing? You can't change shit that you're not aware of. If you don't know where you're starting at right now, you don't know what to change. So it's not about, hey, what should I do? I don't know. What are you doing? Well, I'm doing a little bit of it. Fuck, you don't even fucking know. What are you asking me for? You have no fucking idea yourself. So it's you taking it more seriously. It's not a hobby. It's part of your life. And if you're not tracking shit, you're not aware, you're not plugged in, you're not going to understand how to tweak things. So the idea behind the aggressive short-term goals is focusing on things that you can change within like today, tomorrow, like a 3 to 5 day period. You can change habits. You have to start now. You're not going to be getting to 21 days or 3 months of habit if you don't start every day. So it's these little short-term sprints that are going to add into this longer-term marathon type, long-term duration approach. But you have to start with these little small snippets and just chip away and focus on these little goals, and these little things are going to help you be more consistent, more disciplined in the short term, which will translate into long-term discipline. Texas Titan, I've gotten some really good newbie gains in muscle, but I've lost 40 pounds through eating right and staying disciplined. Good. Hi, all the way from South Africa. What up, Liana? What up from South Africa? I love your 1 pound video. Shared it in my Facebook group. Thank you for your podcast. Helping a fuck ton. I like that. I like helping a fuck ton. I'm down with that. And I'm aware that the internet was cutting out a little bit. I don't know why the broadcast was stopping. It's not on my end. Who knows? Sometimes streaming just cuts off. Who knows? Technology. Remember, if you get like the audio, if it kind of cuts out a little bit, I'm recording it and you can just catch the podcast, the parts that you missed. Sweaty. Yeah. I think we should differentiate between cardio and endurance training. For health, endurance is just as important as strength training. You wouldn't drive a car without oil or gas. You can't say things like that. You can't say endurance is just as important as strength. You just can't say those things. There's no way to measure that. So I don't say things like that because it's just not true. You can't say they're both just as important, because they're not. Everyone's going to be a little bit different. But cardiovascular and endurance training, they're very similar. Everything's kind of cardio. Everything. Cardiovascular is just your heart, blood vessels. It's your cardiovascular system. So people use, fitness is very popular with just using physiological terms incorrectly. We just say cardio, but if you're lifting weights and you're doing supersets, I mean, you're getting some cardiovascular benefits too. Endurance training, you're talking about slow twitch muscle fibers. You're talking about higher rep sets. It depends on what your goal is. So health is very, there's so many components. You can't even say that one thing is healthier just because there's so many aspects and components of health that you can't even test, because you could have someone that does more endurance training, but they eat junk food and they might not be as healthy. So it depends on what you want, but they're definitely different just doing cardio and endurance, because you could do weights for endurance. Muscular endurance is different. Cardio and endurance is very similar. But of course, if you get really granular and specific about it, there are always subcategories and real specifics, but most of those things aren't important. If you're getting really granular into the specifics and you really get into the science in this, you're probably not listening to this podcast, or you're reading a lot of scientific studies if that's how your brain works. But what's most important are the basics. What's most important are what's going to help you stay consistent the most, what's going to get you towards your goals most efficiently by thinking about the least amount of things. There's a lot of fluff that we try to remove here on the Daily Swole. There's a lot of fluff. There's a lot of bullshit that kind of circles around and clouds the most important aspects of training. So from my experience with clients and myself personally, just whittled down all these other things that I've done in my past that didn't really help me. The things I'm doing now, I minimize. I'm very minimalist with my training and my approach to training. And it has kept me healthy. It has been just equally as effective as when I was trying to crush fucking things all the time. It's just a whole different approach, whole different feel. I just feel better. Sharing that with y'all sharing the sick fucking gains. My goal is to live a healthy lifestyle and teach my son. There you go. Lead by example. Pass it on the right way. Pass it on. Make sure everyone that you check out the latest YouTube videos. The last 2 are fire. And there's a lot of good shit coming this week. There's a lot of stuff along those veins that are going to be a lot of content that I'm going to be creating. So just a reminder for this week. Remember, tomorrow is the Sunday Funday Q&A-ness. But another reminder that this week, start thinking about those things that you can change in the short term. Like today, what can you do differently better today? What can you do differently better today? Can you be more efficient with your time? Can you do a little bit more mobility work? Can you go to the gym and spend a little extra time doing some activation exercise? Can you get to sleep a little bit earlier? What can you do in the next, like today, and also in the next short term couple days? What kind of habits can you nail down for the next 3 to 5 days? And then just repeat that. If you think 21 days, a lot of times that's 21 days or 60 days or whatever you're trying to do to set a habit, it can be overwhelming. 21 days is a long time, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I mean, we're living in like a 1 to 2 day cycle with internet and shipping, and everything's like really fucking fast. So 21 days seems like, oh, fuck, that's future. But why don't we set some goals and set some habits, habitual changes within the next 3 to 5 days, bang that out, and then just repeat it, bang it out again. And then after 3 or 4 cycles, boom, you got your habit locked down. So let's focus on what we can do better. What's most important? What's your weak point? So let's think about that once we leave here. Think about what your weakest point is of your day and what you can work on and what you can change and tweak today that you can also duplicate tomorrow and the next day, and add a couple days together and then just copy and paste. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me for episode 1121 of the Most Muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleazecast, and Slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. I'll see you tomorrow. Remember, turn your post notifications on. Tomorrow is Sunday Funday Q&A-ness. Going to take a lot of Qs. All questions are welcome. Going to answer a lot of them. So make sure you tune in. I'll be hitting you up in the Instagram stories and saying, what up? Hey, we're going live. So make sure you follow me there. And I'll see you tomorrow for 1122, the Sunday Funday Q&A-ness. Peace, McGee's. Deuce, Magoose. Your boy, Papa Swole. Out.